Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. We wanted to take some time out to give you a quick update on what's going on with the 2025 so-called assault weapons ban and removable magazine ban that is currently up for vote in it's going to go to the Senate next in Colorado. It's supposed to have been on the bill the last 2 weeks, but it keeps getting delayed. A lot of people are speculating on all the different reasons why it could be getting delayed. There's a few key points we wanted to just go over real quick to why we think it's getting delayed and where this is going to go and kind of what it's going to turn into. So there's been a few different things holding it up. It looks like it's kind of losing steam, and we hope that's true. There's been a few people who have been in opposition to it, and particularly one of the key people opposing it is Colorado Democrat. And keep that in mind, he's a Democrat, so that plays huge into this. State Senator Nick Henriksen, he is the majority whip for the Senate. He's out of District 3 down in Pueblo, I believe. He last week wrote and signed an official letter from his office saying that he would be in opposition to the bill because it maintains the semi-automatic weapons ban portion, which the way these things work with the Constitution, federally and locally, in our state Constitution, and as well as the actual, original document that was signed almost 250 years ago, these things are all common use items, and so you can't. They fall right into the Second Amendment, and it looks like what they're going to try to do, and what we think they're going to do is they're going to amend this sometime soon. And it's going to drop out the semi-auto ban and the removable magazine portion from the bill. And they're going to focus on the binary triggers, bump stocks, super safety type of devices is what they call them. That, essentially turn a semi-automatic gun into a machine gun of sorts. Not actually a machine gun, but they just give it a rapid fire capability. There's a few different places you can go if you want to voice your opinion and let your local representative know how you feel and how you think they should vote on it, because that's what they're here for, is to represent you. They're not representing themselves or the government. They're representing the people that voted them into office. So I think that they need to take everything we're saying to heart and kind of vote with what their constituents want. Supposedly it's up for vote this Friday. We'll see what happens. If you go to sites like RMGO and the Second Colorado, they have form letters and petitions you can sign and fill out, and they'll send them on your behalf. So we'll put links to both those down in the description. Some things you need to know is that this bill will make the gun laws here more extreme than other states. I mean, even places like California and Illinois, where everybody's Second Amendment rights are already being infringed upon, this will take that a step further and, basically turn law-abiding people into criminals. Things that are already common use items that people own, have in their gun safes, use on a regular basis, they will become illegal in essence, but I mean, they're not going to go and round everybody up and take them. So how effective will that be is the question. A lot of the people that are opposing this cite the safety concerns around this, where when you take removable magazines out of a gun, you in essence make it harder to be used safely, because you can't just drop the magazine out, cycle the action a couple times, and ensure that everything is clear and free of ammunition. This would make it so you'd have to, repeatedly cycle to clear out an entire magazine if if we went to top loading guns with, clip style like an M1 Garand, but with more capacity. It's basically all it's going to do is cause a bunch of panic buying, and before this becomes law, you're going to see an influx of people into gun shops and stuff, which, I mean, we won't mind. It's great for sales, but at the same time, people are just going to go out and buy these things in droves before they're not allowed to, and it's not going to eliminate them from anywhere. And as we've said before, if they're looking to lower crime rates and stop criminals from getting their hands on these things, typically criminals aren't going to a gun shop to buy their guns. They're getting them through illegal means, which this won't do anything for. This isn't going to stop that. And you hear a lot of talk about crime numbers and statistics. Well, statistically, we've had tons of laws come into action over the years, and crime has still gone up. It hasn't done anything to bring crime levels down. So the numbers themselves can disprove the theory that's behind this bill. And we'll post a chart about the Colorado crime statistics in the past couple of years, and you can see, according to their own numbers, that this isn't going to do anything. And one of the numbers that never gets included in these things is you hear a lot about percentages of guns used in crimes and firearm deaths every single year. And the one thing that never gets brought into this that falls into the criminals acquiring guns and where they get them and what they're used for statistic is what really needs to be looked at is of all of the firearms sold in the country every year through legal means, through a gun shop, through an actual licensed FFL, how many of those guns then go on to be used in illegal crime, which you really can't find that number anywhere. And studies have been done around those numbers, and those studies always get squashed and the numbers always get suppressed, and you can never find real-time data on that. So, I mean, that's something you can add to your argument. You can ask them, how many of these guns bought legally are actually being used in crime? And it's such a small, insignificant number that they don't even publish it typically, and they don't, and also because they don't want you to know, I believe. Part of the argument you can present when sending something to debate this new bill is, the fact that we brought up earlier, that it not only infringes upon your federal constitutional rights, but it's also against the state constitution. So these guys are, have a double strike against him, and they're not really considering that. A lot of people don't even know that Article 2 of the Colorado Constitution exists, that says basically the same thing as the Second Amendment of the Constitution says, that the right to bear arms shall not be infringed on. So between the lack of proof of it reducing crime, the unconstitutional nature of the entire thing, I think we have a pretty good argument. And if, like I said, you can go find these form letters that you can send out through groups like RMGO and We the Second Colorado. You can find the phone numbers listed, and those will be in the links as well, to every congressman that you need to contact and every senator you need to contact to, get the word out that you're opposed to this. And another thing that really, really needs to be considered is when you send these letters out and you talk to these people, you need to stay calm and present a valid, rational argument. Knee-jerk reactions, yelling and name-calling and calling these people commies and things like that, whether you think they are or not, a lot of us agree with you, but that's not going to get anything done. You need to, instead of stooping down to the level, you need to kind of rise up a level and present a well-thought-out, valid argument that talks about your constitutional rights, federally and locally, talks about the actual repercussions of what this is going to do, the fact that these are, mass use items that tons of people own, and eradicating them from society is going to be virtually impossible. And I think all of these things together will get the word out to a lot of these people, and if it's in a logical, well-thought-out fashion, it just makes you look even better when you're talking to these people and you're sending them, your opinions and thoughts on this. So we'll see what happens at the end of the week. They're supposed to go vote on this again. Hopefully it gets delayed again, and hopefully it keeps getting delayed, because that is just an even, bigger sign that this isn't going to happen. We would like none of it to happen, But like we said, it looks like it'll get amended, and it will just basically come down to bump stocks, binary triggers, forced reset, and things of that nature, which will probably get passed if it goes down to that, because those aren't common use items. They're owned by like 1% of everybody who owns a semi-automatic gun even has any of these things. So we'll see. Until then, yeah, follow those links, contact your congressman and senator, get the word out, and hopefully we can make a difference in stopping this. Thanks, and we will hopefully have another update for you soon.